Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to The Hunter and the Beast, where today we are hunting these beasts. You know what's weird? Usually they show your army, a representation of your army alongside the enemy army when a battle screen is... Okay, whatever, we're invisible. This is how well hidden we are. How prepared for an ambush we were. We're literally invisible. Okay, so we're going to fight these guys. I'm concerned that if we auto-resolve, we're going to see some losses, so I'd rather not see losses. At this time, I don't think we can afford to lose units with high veterancy, so let's get in here manually. Our major concerns here are, one, the Warp Lightning Cannons, and two, kind of that single unit of Death Globe Bombardiers here, the purpley ones. If we can keep those under control, we shouldn't really see very much damage. And we have a massive range advantage. They're going to have a really hard time just marching up to us. Really, the only thing I'm concerned about is eating a lot of warp cannon fire. So, that's pretty low. We can fix that. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. We have not lost a lot of those gambles this campaign. Alright, good news. The terrain is very uneven and weird, and that is actually going to be extremely helpful for us. So this is a Skaven tunnel that they've dug under the earth. Some good Skaven architecture, just sort of boards awkwardly nailed to each other. Common design for a Skaven support structure here. Alright, we don't really have great artillery in this army. Not for terrain like this. What we should do is fill up the last slot in this army with something a little bit more traditional. We should get another mortar or something for them. But I think we're going to be doing a lot of running forward. I guess we could just stay back. And we can't really stay back. We have to go to them. Have our cavalry at opposite edges of the thing here, and then I don't know. We're going to be running forward a little bit because we are on the attack. So we need to. Yeah, this is a little crummy. Sorry, you guys are the left side cavalry. You go here. You go here. We need to get some intel here. We don't really know anything about the positions of the enemy units yet. Get up on the hill and get ready to maybe do some artillery stuff. You guys just kind of run forward. Most of you guys just kind of run forward. We'll figure it out. So we have a couple of useful spells. We have, of course, Van Hal, who is who's going to mash this button pretty much on cooldown. He's going to be our tertiary scout. He's fast. He's good enough at killing people in melee combat if he absolutely has to. I thought for a second there we were taking some ranged fire, but it's actually just some garbage dripping off of the ceiling. And with Skaven, who knows? Who knows what that might be? Who knows what they built under? Man, even with the speed boost, he's actually still not really faster than our basic... I think he's getting hung up on people. Can't quite make it through these archers. Okay, yeah, see, they're totally allowed to just sit back. I am the one who is under pressure. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Just keep riding away. And then, as soon as you're clear, turn around. So this is what a demigryph looks like. It's like a, it's like a panther bird. What if a panther was also an owl? That is the question. Question that we have all asked at one time or another that is answered by the demigryph. It's sort of like an owl bear, but less so. Okay, we're still pretty far from being in position to actually have at these guys. I don't want to push forward until our whole force is caught up a little bit, though, so let's... Where did I tell you guys to go? Well, get over here. I don't know why they were moving around the way they were moving around. Okay, those dudes came up inside a unit of great swords. We don't have to worry about that. They are under control. Honestly, there's something to be said for just allowing them to exhaust all their charges of this ability, because we are not going to have a problem dealing with the clan rats. Actually, these great swords are doing a remarkably bad job. They're winning, but How are you gonna take damage from clan rats? Okay, there goes the panic. That's the fear. Oh, they are actually marching on me. They're moving up for reasons that are not 100% clear to me. It doesn't really make any sense for them. Yeah, we have archers in position. You guys can maybe move back a little bit. But yeah, okay, if they want to march up here, we will certainly do some damage to them. So these guys just have, like, slings. They're going to try to counter our massive archer assault with some rocks that they found. I mean, I'll give them this. It's cost efficient. Unfortunately, standing on top of the ridge there, they are also vulnerable to my artillery. This is a bad plan. They should not be doing the thing they're doing here. Alright, what we would really like to do is move the cavalry forward in a way that gives us any hope at all of flanking around them and getting into their artillery. It looks like they're being pretty careful not to make that easy for me, but I don't want their artillery getting set up on the hill. We have to be a little bit cautious with the Winds of Magic, since our caster here does not have Arcane Conduit. Okay, good stuff's going on here. I think we can just let it continue. Actually, this unit needs to get up here. Oh, it kind of looks like the spears are going to just pull away and let me flank. And these are just Skaven slaves. It's not like there's any chance we could actually lose a combat with them, but even the worst units with spears still deal damage, still deal some damage to ranged, or to cavalry. So let's back it up a little bit here. Let's have the Death Runners get held in place by the net of Emmentalk, and I think we should turn and start shooting at, because this is the side all the dangerous units are on. We have here their Storm Vermin and their Death Runners. So why don't you guys turn and open up on those dudes? Let's get rid of them. Yeah, and we may have to have the Reiksguard ride into spears a little bit here just to defend the archers, because I forgot to pull that unit of greatswords forward after they did combat back there. We actually have other guys who got distracted by the rats and that just never made it to their positions. People forget. People forget their orders very, very easily. Alright, I'm not sure if the Hellblaster's even firing, to be perfectly honest with you. We're probably not quite in the position yet where I want to be casting spells, but I am going to move these two over there. Let's move everybody over there, all of the heroes. This side should be pretty well under control. Give these guys a quick charge. Let them understand that they are not in control of the situation. There's those dudes who we have to deal with, and okay, we're getting a glimpse. They are in fact just trying to roll their artillery up onto the corner, up onto that bit of the wall, or onto that bit of the hill. So this right here, this I think is the moment. This is when we want to start casting spells, because I think they've gotten themselves lined up pretty awkwardly for us, and these guys won't be moving forward. They're netted. So let's send out a great big flaming skull for them. And also, if you could maybe prep them for the skull by throwing a pot of oil on them, that would be great. Guys, sorry. Back up for a second. Okay, now charge. That's doing some okay damage. Yep, and that right there is exactly what I was trying to avoid. The big bolts of lightning flying at us. Let's get the steam tank. We've been enjoying the steam tank's cannon so far, but let's get it down there and actually get it into melee. I think it is time. You guys probably want to back off and recharge. You guys probably need to back off as well. Some of our units over here are winning. I'm going to have the halberds just push forward for a moment here. And I hope we're going to get a break there. I think let's shoot some fire into these dudes. And Van Hal... Van Hal should... Actually, can we... What is the range on this ability? What I need to do is blow up the missile defense on these Death Globe Bombardiers. Oh, here comes the Warp Lightning. Move, move. Ouch. Yeah, those archers are going to have a bad go of it here. Fall back through friendlies. Okay, looks like the Death Globers are having a problem. Good for us. Let's start shooting some fire. Alright, please understand all of my commands for the rest of the battle as melee orders. Just chase. Just get in there and chase. And the Royal Altdorf Griffites are probably going to have to back off for the rest of the battle. I think we're good to just disengage. Alright, we're doing okay here. So what we need to do now is find a way to put some pressure on their artillery. It'd be really cool if we could get the horses free of these spears and just charge around the outside. Because it kind of looks like the spears want to fight my melee troops. Yeah, they're just going to let me through, it looks like. Focus on the Plague Monks. Plague Monks are very lightly armored, but actually extremely murderous. We do have to make sure they get killed. Alright, no big surprise. My melee troops are winning here. Those guys are almost... It's remarkable how completely resistant to morale damage those Death Globe dudes are, because they should be panicking and fleeing by now, but they are not. They have no concern about their position, apparently. Right, let's have the Luminarch start firing back against their artillery. You know what? You could also try it, I guess. Yeah, let's have the Hellstorm wagons roll up a little bit. And probably we need to start doing the same with the archers. Well, the Storm Vermin are still up. Let's try to break the Storm Vermin down the rest of the way. That is going to require a little bit more damage. We probably need to start working on their lord a little bit too. Actually, Van Hal should start focusing on him as well. Okay. So they're going to try to just meet my charge with spears. So let's fall back real quick and hit these spearmen. It's a decent charge in the flank, but they don't care at all. Why is this group of Skaven is the least scared Skaven I've ever seen. Okay, now that they've rolled that spear unit up a little bit, let's flank around and do some damage here. Alright, go get him. The steam tank is doing what the steam tank does. Absorbing everybody's attention. And over here, I think we're just going to lose... Yeah, we're going to end up losing a unit of halberds and a unit of greatswords, unfortunately. And it doesn't seem like there's a ton we can do about it. You guys should... Oh, the flee button is not present. Well, go ahead and get out of there. You guys should also try to get out of there. Units turning their back to flee almost always causes them to die, you know, because the enemy stabs them in the back instead of in the front. So I'm always reluctant to give that order, because it usually doesn't end up working out the way you'd want it to. Maybe we should... Yeah, maybe we should use a fire skull over here somewhere. It's like, these guys are a problem. Unfortunately, Fireball is a normal projectile and is subject to trajectory issues, I don't think I can hit them with a fireball. You know what? The altar of Griffites could hit them in the back. That would probably help. Oof. Good Warp Lightning shot. Fortunately, I believe it will be the last thing the Warp Lightning crews ever do. Yep, there we go. That's how you handle that problem. And it looks like the Hellstorm rocket battery actually destroyed almost all of the cannons on the other side. Okay, well, it was not totally ideal. I think we probably lost. If these two units survive, we effectively lost nothing, because we will have time to regenerate. If they both are dead, then we probably did not actually outperform the auto-resolve. I don't know. It's always hard to know. If the bar's not pretty close to one end or the other, it can be difficult to guess what the outcome might be, because sometimes the auto-resolver behaves in very strange ways. Okay, yeah, we kept everybody. In this case, I think we did definitely outperform the auto-resolve. Mr. Harkon is... Oh, I'm already at war with Luz. I was about to say, oh, he's declaring war on me, huh? I didn't realize that we were at war. Yeah. Sure, I would love it if you guys couldn't suddenly attack me out of nowhere. That sounds great. I hate it when the camera turns. I get so used to looking at the world from directly south of wherever the camera's pointed that I start to lose the ability to tell where things are. Like, all of my reckoning, all of my relative reckoning, is assuming that we are looking northward. Oh, there is an army of children of the old ones out there, huh? Yeah, that's right. We just hit maximum hostility. Well, so it goes. I think we do, like I said, I think we do want to take on a... I think we do want to take on a unit of mortars for this group. I want something that has range and that nice high arcing capability.
All right.
And if you're wondering why we've healed up so much, it's because player armies receive their replenishment at the beginning of the turn. So we got... That battle ended and we immediately got replenishment, which is nice. Okay, seems to me like we probably want to take on the Arrow of Akshi upgrade into... Yeah, pretty good stuff. I mean, this is the same stuff that Wolfheart has. Although, there is... He does have an ability to imbue fire damage on allies while increasing their attack speed. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe we want more of the traditional yellow line? I think they're both good, but let's focus on buffing up the fire powers of the army rather than the fire powers of Valmir himself. Okay, so... Where are we at in relative strength terms? How does this Skaven force look? Okay, they're rated as only slightly weaker than we are. I have no idea what that means in terms of like the number of armies that they might have. I think I'm going to go back and grab these two with Marcus before we reunite. That might be a little bit too aggressive, but I'm just thinking that's a whole province right there, and they're so close together, and then they're both ports as well, so that'll be a good way to gain some acclaim. Do we know where the Scary Lizardmen army spawned? I don't think I actually do. Okay, well we'll go into ambush mode here. We'll move to like here and ambush, and hopefully we'll be able to catch people out of position rather than being caught out of position ourselves. Okay, Nussbacher's going to be up here in position to participate in combat any moment now. That's pretty cool.
Champion of the faith. I will go.
Looks like it shouldn't be too many more turns of movement to say hi to the important lore characters. And we have 8,000 gold. What do I do with 8,000 gold? Sulfuret's is already working on its wall. I guess upgrading the Mirror Pool's main settlement is pretty good. Oh, upgrading Hexawaddle. That's a good move. Gives a little bit more ability to improve stuff in this region, and then yeah, it's gonna take a while before Spectazuma is gonna be anything. We're doing our best over here already. Yeah, it's okay to end the turn with a bunch of money. I don't think we need to upgrade every one of our little settlements. I've already forgotten. What were we doing with the dwarf? We were gaining access to carved obsidian. Like, where even is there carved obsidian? Is there any down south? Or like a place we could be moving toward? I thought I remembered there being some in this mountain range. Maybe it's like down here? That's definitely inconvenient. Okay, here we go. Trade. It is a resource that, yeah, that is not owned by anybody that we are trading with. I don't know, yeah, I don't know where you get, I don't know where to get that. Can we get it up north? Is there any in the Dark Elf lands? Oh, there's some at the ancient city of Quintex. It's a bit of a walk, though. Yeah, nowhere else has it and is closer. There's none in the jungle. It's definitely like a mountain-type resource. It's a volcano-type resource. I'm a little surprised there's none at Izatal. Okay, well, we just might find ourselves unable to do that. Can we... Is there anybody that we're not trading with that we could be trading with that might have some? They don't. Sort these guys by trade.
King of the Vampire Coast.
For a second there, I thought he was about to break into song. Okay. Nobody that we can trade with has access to that stuff. That's... man, it's kind of wild. I'm just kind of curious, like, even among all of the players that we can't trade with, does anybody have it? No, this is a trade good that literally no player is collecting. I mean, the Buccaneers obviously are a no. Yeah, wow, okay, well. I think there is some down here somewhere. I'm guessing it would be over here? Or we just have to either trade with the Dark Elves, but we know that the Dark Elves don't seem to have it, so they haven't even built the extractor. Yeah, we're just not going to get that. Okay, the dwarf is stuck. This is the quest step that gives access to the gyrocopter too. That really sucks, man. I was excited about getting that gyrocopter. Alright, let's see what everybody's up to. And gyrocopters are great for things like harassing artillery, because they don't have the problem that we were having with our cavalry in that battle, where the enemy can sometimes just build a wide enough wall of units that you can't go around them. So almost nobody has flying units, and even if they do, they usually don't have very many, and... I am concerned. I think that we are seeing some military successes up there from the Dark Elves in their campaign against the skeletons. Definitely makes me worried. Military alliance was signed with the Vampire Coast, which probably means we can expect them to declare war on us again eventually. I'd be surprised if they did it soon, though. Presumably the reason that they sued for peace is that they fear us. They don't have enough military strength nearby, and they were afraid I was going to conquer them. So they'll have to get over that before they're willing to declare war on us again. Who knows, though? Sometimes the AI gets weird ideas. Okay, apparently we are about to be extremely under attack. Yeah, that's a little worrying. Can we see what's in these armies? Okay, this one has some clan rats, some slaves, a couple of gun teams, some assassins.
Ruckus, Wolfheart.
Well, the good news is, because we didn't use our full movement getting up north, we can pull ambush trickery here. Sadly, this city is just about to get its expanded garrison. If these guys were a single turn further away, we would be in a very different position here. The walls will be finished here next turn, which probably means that we can pull Volmir. It looks to me like he's going to need to get over to the east.
Calls to untamed lands.
This could be real bad. So, actually, this army's not that scary. I mean, they have dinosaurs. This is a support dinosaur. They have dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are... I guess they're okay. They're actually... I'm a lot less worried about dinosaurs than I am about, like, elite infantry units at this point, because we're so good at killing them. Kroxigors are kind of elite infantry, but they are, unfortunately, big enough to be counted as large, which means they will get shredded by huntsmen. Ripperdactyls are just... they're not great. They're just not great. Horned ones are cavalry, and they're fine, but again, they have a lot of large stuff. They have a lot of things that are large, which are going to have a hard time against us. I guess the huntsmen can't be shooting all of them at the same time. But I am a little concerned here that what might happen is Ikit Claw is going to charge us, get obliterated in an ambush, but us doing that is going to reveal my dudes, and then these guys are going to be able to attack our army. Oh well, whatever. I mean, there's... I believe we will be able to fall back. And if we fall back, we will fall back through the city, so we'll be on the other side of it, and I don't think they'll be able to chase. They will be able to just take the city, which would suck, but they can't... I don't think they can chase us.
True servant of Sigmar.
Alright. We can make it. Let's see what this does. Gotrek and Felix. So Gotrek is a terrifying dwarf slayer man, and is Felix... Felix is just like a normal knight? You have managed to meet the legendary duo Gotrek and Felix while they travel through the province. Over some tankards of ale, Gotrek reveals to you that he is seeking the most heroic death possible. Well, sure, he's a slayer. Felix suggests that he and Gotrek join your cause. The slayer seems unenthusiastic at first, but is soon persuaded that you can help him achieve the great doom he craves. Boy, can I. Felix tells you privately that really he welcomes the safety in numbers our forces will provide. Okay, is their deal that, like, Gotrek is a slayer, so he's trying to die in the most heroic way possible, but Felix is smarter than that and wants to live, and he's just, like, constantly tricking Gotrek into being safe? Well, yeah, I'm all about dudes. Welcome to the team.
How should I put this? An adventure-filled nightmare, or a nightmarish adventure?
Let's get some alieners after that, Ruckus.
That was a weird little thing. Okay, Gotrek and Felix are now yours to command. They will remain for only a limited time. Okay. They didn't join the army, because the army doesn't have any slots. Was I supposed to have left myself slots? Hold on. Lords and Heroes. Are they on my Lords and Heroes listing? They are not. Oh, hey. I totally forgot that we have a quest for a thing. Listen, we haven't needed it. Raid any region belonging to the Lizardmen. Well, that's actually not going to be doable anymore. Whatever, I don't need that bow. We have plenty of bows. Yeah, I totally spaced on our legendary quest because, like, we have a lot of things going on. Do I have to recruit them from the hero menu? Or, like, what is the story with this? Maybe I was supposed to have left, space in that army.
Praise be to Sigmar.
Okay, well, you guys can't really get anywhere except into Sulfurettes this turn, so do that.
Sigmarite Arch-Lector.
This at least gives us some defense against Dark Elves walking down from the Titan Peaks. And honestly, our public order is not in a great place. Let's go ahead and level this up. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're supposed to actually interact with them, because they're not on our list of guys. And they don't seem to be hireable, and they also seem to have disappeared from the map. So, I don't know, we'll hit end turn and we'll just see if they arrive somewhere.
Wolfhart.
I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous about the thing that is going on over here. It's nice to see the High Elf nations are doing pretty well. Hopefully they can actually, like, be a threat to somebody somewhere. It'd be great if they would distract the Dark Elves, so that I didn't constantly have navies of Dark Elves sailing southward. Alright, let's see it. What do you got, Icked Claw? Please just run the other way. Alright, well, I'll take my free ambush win. But I believe that that does reveal us. Icked Claw was a legendary lord, so we get a trait. Oh, that's a pretty good trait, actually. Icked Claw may have been defeated utterly, but he'll surely be back again soon with a new, better, nastier, probably motorized plan. Icked Claw sounds like my kind of dude, honestly. Alright, and then that Lizardman army is going to attack us, and we're going to be, like, a little bit injured, and I don't know, maybe we'll just fall back. If we fall back, he's going to burn that settlement, probably. I mean, we could use the settlement garrison to block for us. I'm a little concerned here. Yeah, let's fall back. We don't have to fight a maybe battle. If he burns the settlement, we reunite with our other army. Yeah, this is fine. Looks like he took functionally no damage. It says lost 32, but there certainly aren't 32... I guess there's like tiny little bits of these units missing.
My deeds are legend.
Okay, some faction elsewhere was destroyed, some group of people that we know not and also don't care about.
Marcus Wolfhart.
Alright, Marcus is gonna hold the line now before I forget.
Traitors always get found out in the end.
There are so many little sub-goals to focus on. How's a person supposed to remember that they want a legendary bow, I ask you? Bottomless Quiver? Maybe? Or Public Order? I guess Bottomless Quiver? It doesn't really come up. And she runs out of arrows sometimes, I guess, but we usually just solve that problem by having her run into melee.
Traitors always get found out in the end.
Okay, yes, immortality for the wizard. Wonderful. Can't select my army, there we go.
The rumors say that this one...
Do we want Cascading Fire Cloak? I think I would rather just upgrade the Burning Head, because I really like that spell. I really like to shoot a giant flaming skull at people. Okay.
Marcus Wolfhart.
So the bad news is, we don't have any friendly territory in which to heal. The good news is, what we can do is just, like, stand right here and go into encampment mode, which we haven't used very much. Create the appearance of us just standing here to heal. And then nearby, set up an ambush with this army. Okay, let's see if they just wander into that. That would be awfully nice.
By Sigma. Ready to serve.
Wait for night.
Okay, they get their wizard next turn. And is it still the case that we don't actually have... And they're not... Yeah, they're not a lord. They're not a hero of a recruitable type.
Of the weak.
I guess I just would have had to have space in this army. I'm kind of surprised that... Oh, you know what? They're probably on the special units tab, aren't they? Or maybe they're not. There are too many damn units on the special units tab. But there's nothing that I have any quantity of. Never mind. There's totally stuff I have quantity of. It's not getting picked out because I don't have a space in the army. So then we do actually have to, like, flip through this a little bit more slowly. That's a cannon. Just looking for stuff where it's not a 0 at the top. Huh.
True servant of Sigma.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that didn't do the thing we were expecting it to do. Alright, weapon strength up for everybody. That's fine. We don't need any additional heroes. We got plenty of heroes. If there's one thing we are not short on, it is heroes. Do we even want to upgrade any stuff down here? Yes, we totally want to build some walls. That's right. That's right. We had a plan. We had a whole thing going. And then I guess the Monument to the Moon as well, because we can do a port upgrade there eventually. Alright, nice to have proper walls. The temple could use them as well. Alright, it's almost a place where we can start to build walls. Well, let's see if these lizard men fall into our very carefully laid ambush. They are not exactly cunning. Brutal, but not cunning, so I suspect this will work. They would pay me 1,000 gold for a military alliance. I wonder why. I mean, maybe we should have taken that. I'm already at war with everyone around me except for the vampires, and the vampires, I don't think the elves are likely to declare war on the vampires, and me being allied with the elves might cause the vampires to think twice before declaring on me. Maybe. Could you please not screw up my ambush? God, little rat agents running around all over the place. Marcus has avoided hero nonsense so many times that he's become quite experienced at it. You know the old saying, how do you avoid getting stabbed in the face? Practice. And the practice is usually not super fun. But then again, now he's getting stabbed in the face. It's a thing worth avoiding. Okay, huzzah! They have fallen into my brilliant ambush. Yeah, I'll just take the auto-resolve here. We have enough of an advantage that I don't think it's going to kill anybody. Okay, and we shouldn't see those guys again for a while. Our armies consist of noble state troops, and yet they act like a horde of free company. Well, I don't think we're going to be sacking any settlements anytime soon, so let's take this other option.
Huntsman General, a trusty comrade for now.
Immortality for Velmir as well. I kind of forgot that he was even going to need it, if I'm being honest. So one of these armies needs to retake this city, and the other one needs to head up to the temple. Also, what's going to be the best way to approach here? There's a lot of like rivers and stuff, which make traversal pretty awkward. There's a bridge to the south, and then a road to, from the east. So I guess we'd want to hit it from the south. There's not really even an easy way to do that. Yeah, we're just going to have to trek through the jungle and over the rivers, which is unfortunately going to take a tremendous number of movement points.
To untamed lands.
Alright, let's have Velmir go north. His forces are a little bit fresher. Actually, Marcus can reach it this turn, though. Alright, Velmir, do this.
Huntsman General.
So in 2 turns, he'll be good as new. Temple should really get a garrison structure.
Can't do it. Wolfhart. Agreed.
And provided that there's still no army in this settlement, yeah, we should be able to win this battle with an injured army, and then we'll be in a friendly settlement. Yeah, I'll just auto-resolve. We'll be in a friendly settlement, so we'll get that good replenishment. Okay, raids against the Empire. I don't remember who of these we have helped. Obviously, we've helped Visland quite a bit. I'm not expecting to see any additional rewards from them because they gave us a rune blade. It doesn't get much more supporty than that. Then again, there are unique units in the unit pool screen, right? In the Empire reinforcement screen, and we haven't gotten one from them this is actually an amount of money that matters now that they fixed the ports, but I'm going to do that because I am curious. I'm curious if we can get even more rewards. Alright, so this is our very last skill point. We got to make sure that we've taken anything we want to take here. We've got a lot of our important stuff. A single point in any of these blue skills is not really going to do much, so we should probably take, like... Honestly, Brass Lunged is not bad. Increase the size of his reinforcement, or his leadership aura, because he does end up far away from our units sometimes. We could also give him some missile resistance. Honestly, this doesn't seem that good. 79 melee defense does make him pretty tough to kill with a melee weapon, though. He doesn't usually end up having to duel enemy lords. I'm going to take Brass Lunged. The way we fight with him, he doesn't really need melee stuff that badly. Okay, yeah, definitely give me an upgrade here. And do I even want this? Like, we want to build a garrison structure. I'm just going to remove this. We'll build the garrison structure there, and then we'll figure other stuff out later, because we're not going to get access to these other building slots for 5 turns.
Of oblivion.
We'll put Nussbacher in place of one of the swordsman units. I mean, it's possible that this army is way too ranged. Maybe Gotrek and Felix... Nope, they're not on the normal recruitment pool thing either. Yeah, weird. I don't know. Okay, hold on. So, yeah, there are these special, like, the Karaberg Greatswords. These are things that we have not had the ability to recruit yet, right? Sutzen's guns, maybe these are the ones from... Because the ones from Wissenberg from Wissenland will definitely be artillery. Yeah, whatever. It's not worth worrying about. So, should I cut a bad unit of melee, or should I instead cut a good unit of gunners because we have way too many gunners? Probably the latter. Like, we don't really... I don't feel safe dropping down to 5 units of melee in this army.
Champion of the faith.
Ooh, we could cut a unit of greatsword of swordmen to replace them with greatswords, though. I feel fine about that.
Praise be to Sigma.
And I think we don't... Oh, steam tank. Yeah, we should get a steam... I'm going to cut another unit of guns, because steam tank.
Protector of the weak.
Okay, recruit those. Get a wizard. It's a pretty leveled up wizard, too. And then, do we want to grab, like, there were cannons and stuff available? Yeah, we're probably fine. We're fine the way we are. This is a decent army now. And do these guys just, like, hang out in Sildrator until it looks like we are going to be in danger somewhere else nearby? I think probably. We have to upgrade the walls at Selferetz, since Selferetz is actually a place where we could get attacked, apparently. And, yeah, we're able to just barely hold public order in check. Let's worry about public order down here as well, because I don't know... When this army is no longer present, I don't know if we're actually going to be positive anymore. Maybe we could focus on growth instead, because we do have to rebuild the capital. Yeah, that seems fine. And then also... Well, we should save money, because we got to get those walls up at Sulfuretz. Hey, look at that. That acclaim bar is filling. I really don't know if we have an army that is in position to fight like a quest battle. We would want it to be an army that is full of fairly elite units, and it's got to be Marcus's army, right? So when we get closer, we're going to have to start looking at his troops, because he has a bunch of like normal swordsmen and spearmen that we're going to have to replace. We might just have him meet up with Valmir and take on Valmir's more elite infantry. Because aside from that, his army's pretty good. Like, his huntsmen are very leveled up, and they seem great. I know that huntsmen are relatively low-tier units, but I think we would keep them. He has so many buffs to them, and they're just very good. And then he has decent artillery. Yeah, we're probably okay to take on a quest battle, as long as we replace his infantry with the infantry from Valmir. Hostility is dissipated, which is lovely.
Marcus Wolfhart.
Somehow this army is still constantly leveling. Do we even want... we do want the other spells. We may as well take them. So which one first? I guess a ton of armor. It's so hard to imagine casting Flesh to Stone when we have Shield of Thorns, though. Regrowth, I could at least see us being in a position where we're like, man, we really need a boost. Let's walk over to here. Get into ambush mode. We still have a little bit of replenishing to do. And then I'm going to have him run forward and do a quick scout. Show me whether or not there's a Skaven army in this settlement. Oh! That's actually just empty. Wild. Okay, to access the treasure, solve the puzzle, the old one, Tiphawk the Inscrutable never liked to repeat himself. So, colors and numbers, both row and column unique, I'm assuming, which means that this is either a 2 or a 3, and it's blue? Yeah, and we're only given one option that fits that. This would be a purple 1, so this must be a blue 3. Okay, easy enough. Or a blue, wait. Yeah, blue 2, because there's a 3 there.
My deeds are legend.
Alright, we found ourselves a vagabond, and he had 1,000 gold on him. Well, no longer. His gold has been conscripted to our purpose. I can't believe that's just sitting there empty. Like, why? Why is that like that? Sure. Sure, missile defense. That'll work. Well, in that case, hold on. In that case, we totally have the movement range to just get over here. Let's do that. Oh, you cannot colonize a ruin that you have searched this turn. I almost never, even try that. I was not aware. Well, in that case, I'm going to march mode. We can just barely get back on our side of the line, and we can get that replenishment that we were looking for. Nussbacher leveled up by entering this army, so let's max out Purple Sun. It's probably not the best spell in that school, but it is the spell that is the most fun to cast of all the spells in that school. And we've discovered an Undercity. Yes, the Skaven have a... we haven't played Skaven since the Undercity mechanics went in, so I'm not actually sure what the deal with those is. Like, at some point the Skaven controlled that city. Are you allowed to Undercity your own settlement, or does it have to be owned by somebody else first? Like, I'm wondering how developed that is. I don't know. Now that we've discovered it, we can burn it out pretty easily. I also don't actually even know what it does. Like, I'm assuming it allows them to siphon resources off of you. Like, reduce your income and they get the income instead, but I don't know if it's just that simple, or if they can cause havoc in other ways. Oh, I bet it allows them to spread Skaven corruption.
And state your affairs.
Because one thing that was kind of tricky... No, absolutely not. One thing that was kind of tricky as Skaven was attacking people in new territories. Meant you had to go in without a lot of charges of your spawn new Skaven ability, because of the fact that that Skaven corruption in their lands would almost certainly be low. So letting you spread corruption prior to an assault is definitely a useful thing. Wow, gained lots and lots of traits here. Sildrator is under control. I mean, we could go and burn the Titan Peaks. Skeletons are trying to gear up for something. Well, hold on. Let's do the thing we know we're going to do first. I am certain that this army is going to go and reclaim Chotek. And this guy may as well rejoin. Actually, should he though? If they're just going to be sitting there, maybe he can go scout ahead. I guess we would want this settlement.
My deeds are legend.
Yeah, sure. Go feel that out. Chotek needs to get rebuilt. Slowly. Don't have the money for the other thing. It's probably public order for the moment, since we're so negative. And that's got us up to like 90. 91, in fact. Yeah, we are getting pretty close here. We're definitely going to take this upgrade. And then we could build a growth building here. I don't know that we necessarily need to, but also it doesn't hurt. And we're at full health here. So I guess we should get a move on. Honestly, foot run speed, probably okay for him. I wish that he could ride a horse. So what's going to be the cost to burn out the Undercity here? 2750. Too high, probably. Alright, if we're at 91 acclaim, then in theory, we probably only need to reclaim 3 more settlements, at most, in order to get to 100. It could be the case that like rebuilding the port in Chotek in a couple of turns is going to give us a point. We're sort of upgrading that port from a pile of rubble to a functioning dock. So it might be like 2 settlements and also fix Chotek's port or something like that. We're getting really, really close here. And hey, we're going to end the campaign in control of our initial territory, which for a while was looking like a thing that was maybe not going to be true. And we have no idea whether our hunter's final battle effects are all going to come into play, or only the elf, since she's the only one who's actually finished her plotline. I don't know how obvious it'll be. It may be the case that even during the battle we have a hard time telling. Because what are they? Allied reinforcements will arrive. Boy, that sure would be nice. Ammunition will be periodically replenished. That also sounds really nice. Shield of the Old One's ability will be destroyed in the final battle, so hers we might not actually even know what it does, because we probably just will never see the shield. And then he will massively reduce enemy lords' damage resistance. That's interesting. We are totally going to be able to do his next step, but unfortunately, he's at the very beginning of his quest line. You're probably not intended to get them all, right? Alright, you should check this out. It'll only cost money to search the ruin if it's actually empty, I believe. Yeah. Okay, a die has 6 faces. May the fates keep them rolling high, especially if you're making a ward save. So here's our question mark. It's the face at the bottom of the snaky shape, which is this triangle thing. We got a Kossar, okay, which is not a bad thing. And then also our 1,000 gold back. They really need to upgrade the rewards you get for searching ruins. If they're going to make it cost 1,000 gold, it should award you more than 1,000 gold. What do we want for him now? His leadership has never really been a problem. I guess armor. Armor's good. So, do we even want that? If it was a Skaven settlement, I'd be more inclined to go after it, to be perfectly honest with you, just to prevent it from spawning enemies at us. But this being the case, maybe we just head straight for this thing. Where's the border of my... Okay, the border of my territory is right there. I'm not really sure what the best way to go about this is. It might be a little bit faster to cut through the area around Zahutek, but I'm going to go this way. And I guess we'll just stop at the edge of friendly territory here. I'm going to go this way because it keeps us closer to Valmir. Makes it more likely that we will be able to call upon reinforcements should reinforcements be necessary. And actually, Valmir should just go with them, right? There's no reason for this to be a maybe thing. Interesting that I am not seeing any... There's 36 Chaos or Skaven Corruption here. It's not enough for there to be attrition. I bet this is empty. If it were a Skaven settlement, it would be so much more than that, right? So much more corruption. We should probably spend our money on burning this. That's a real shame. So it can't be very powerful if it will sometimes be the case that the enemy just gets to suddenly remove it with you having no counterplay. It must not be a thing you invest a lot of resources into, I mean. Yeah, I'm pretty curious. We will probably play a Skaven campaign in the near future. Might try it as, we might do it on the Mortal Empires map, and try some of the Skaven clans that are a little bit further away from Lustria, though, because I really hate this jungle. So Von Hall wants us to reclaim the Awakening, which is just a little bit east of where we're going now. But he's pretty late in his thing too. I don't know if it's the last quest in his line. If it is, we'll probably try to do it. Because it would be cool to have people fully leveled up for the final battle, especially because we don't know whether their final battle abilities actually go off otherwise. It seems weird to me to even have a final battle ability on them at all if it fires before you get them leveled up all the way, because that just means that you'll always have all the abilities, because they're very easy to unlock. In fact, we got one of them by accident. We didn't even do anything. Alright, the Skaven are trying to sneak through with an army that is very advanced.
Marcus Wolfhart, Huntsman General.
And we can't quite actually attack that.
Marcus Wolfhart.
Okay, here's what we're going to do.
No time to waste.
We're going to try to unite the two armies. Oh man, I can only do it by having them both in march mode.
Tigers.
Well, obviously I don't like them both being in march mode. How far can you get north? Yeah, just barely. We can just barely have them meet.
Chivalrous.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Roderick's not a terribly important part of most of our battles. I'm going to let him stay loose here. He's going to run down and scout this. The rest of us are going to fall back and try to catch these guys, I guess. The thing is, if I try to move... I'm debating whether I think that that Marcus could get to safety, or if the Skaven would be able to catch us. One thing we could try is just moving short enough that we get to go into ambush mode. We shouldn't be found out. Our chance of successfully laying an ambush is incredibly high. But that doesn't mean we necessarily won't be found out.
The great outdoors.
It'll still be a few turns before we have an expanded garrison here. We should probably put some money into that. Yeah, I think we gotta fall back. We gotta fall back. So let's go ahead and unite.
Foes to track. Get a move on. Step to it.
And if they want to fight us, they gotta fight us together.
Unachievable. Marcus Wolfhart.
Yeah, I think it's the best we could do. Do we want 4 melee defense? Charge bonus is not super relevant. We spend a lot of... Most of the time we're not charging people, we're getting charged because we're standing back and defending the ranged. None of this stuff really does anything. This is okay. A very small amount of money. Let's go ahead and take ammunition for the artillery. We don't know exactly who will be fighting in the final battle, but since it's called the Battle of Itza, I'm going to assume it's Lizardmen, which means we should probably take Purge of the Foul before that happens. And actually, Purge of the Foul would be really good for us right now, too. So maybe we want to bank a couple of turns of money and make that happen? There's an Undercity Inspect to Zuma as well. So yeah, the other, if you build an Undercity in someone's empire, they're going to notice it all the time without having to, like, put any effort into it. I'm very curious how that mechanic plays out from the Skaven end. Seems unreliable. But if they're low enough effort to set up, and they do something useful for you, they wouldn't really have to be very resilient. Okay, he's trying to just underway past me. I'm surprised that we have such a very high balance of power bar here. I'm I'm a little concerned that I'm going to hit auto-resolve on this, and it's going to blow my army up. Because sometimes the auto-resolve, the balance of power bar, does not represent the auto-resolver. But I also, like, this battle we would win, but it would be such a slog, because these units are so tough. I'm just going to take the auto-resolve. Okay. It didn't do anything tricksy. And he's standing in our territory, so all of that damage will get healed off. Yeah, we would have won that battle, but it probably would have taken a while. We just, like, slowly pound their infantry to pieces as they approach us. High Queen Khalida. Yes, military access. Fine. How did I even meet you? Have we known you for a long time? I guess we know all the major port owners. Maybe she took control of a port. I'm not sure how we met her. But yeah, generally speaking, we get along with skeletons. Listen, every human is a skeleton. And every human has a skeleton inside. Somewhere deep in their heart. Oh, absolutely take the migration. Growth is excellent. Okay, well that was way easier than I thought it was going to be to deal with those guys. I'm surprised he tried to just move past us like that. He had to know that was going to go poorly.
Loyal or not, they'd better fight.
I mean, listen, sometimes Skaven make bad decisions. I guess I should not be shocked by that. Okay, well let's try to move on the settlement again.
Agreed.
I guess we may as well do this in March mode.
How to proceed? Leave no one behind.
And we'll meet up on the other side of the river. Floating pyramid gets... no, wait. We're not going to spend any money this turn because I'm going to get that technology. Yeah, let's figure out what this is. Peace has been negotiated between... Oh, you know what? The Defenders of the Great Plan, their territory is a place where I could still raid a lizardman. We may intentionally delay the final battle until after Marcus gets his great bow. We'll just run over to that one city that the Defenders of the Great Plan control, raid the territory, and then see what else comes from that quest. Because we should, like, if we can do it, we probably should. Uh-oh. Oh dear. She attacked and won. I'm surprised, given the number of units there. Oh. Just before the walls were going to be finished. And this is a bunch of shades. They have a Charybdis, which is a... Yeah, we can't win this fight. I will not bother to fight that in manually. They actually lost a huge number of their units there. And they didn't destroy the settlement. That's interesting. They just sacked it. Well, we have an army up in that area. We'll move it in that direction. We might be able to rebuild and get proper walls up there yet. Mostly, I'm curious what we're going to find here, and whether or not we're going to be able to complete Roderick's quest in a real hurry here at the very end of the game. I also just kind of want to see what all of their quest objectives are. I'm just curious about the mechanics. So at this point, we will not bother to check the settlement with our hero if we can get the other armies to the settlement. I was expecting dealing with that Skaven stack to take longer. Oh, we're looking at a rebellion at Spectazuma. And in return for your assistance with political matters, Eben von Leibwitz has decided to send you his state's special steam tank. Alright, well I'm really glad that I've made some of the decisions that I have made throughout the course of this campaign. Yeah, you can see in March mode we can just barely walk across the river. So I guess go ahead and check that. 1625 to search the ruins. Alright, is there a big army? There is not. There's not even a full-size garrison. So this is not really a two-army problem. What is in their garrison? Real basic-ass units. Okay, let's have Marcus cross and get ready for the fight. And do I want to just move him back then? I think so. Like, he's definitely not needed.
Stay together.
We'll go ahead and purge the foul real quick here. Only takes one turn to research.
Ready to serve.
Roderick will join up, and then we'll take this very easily next turn. And how much is it going to cost to burn this out? Oh, okay, we can afford it. Because yeah, somebody's gonna have to respond to the rebellion here. So there's a lot of corruption. They're causing a lot of corruption. And my buildings are damaged, but we can't afford to repair them.
Servant of the faith.
We should probably keep working up Fervent. Counter all this chaos corruption somehow. Alright, how far north can I move? I don't want to run all the way up there because we know... Well, I guess their army's in bad shape though, right? I'm a little nervous about that. Let's maybe make this move a little bit more gradually. Oh, hey, there they are. So we've spent too much movement to be able to switch back to normal movement mode. My army's not amazing, but it's amazing enough to deal with this nonsense.
Ever vigilant.
We can't even really move much closer, unfortunately. Okay, we could repair... No, we could demolish that. We just don't have any money. Alright, out of curiosity, I know we can't actually recruit it, but can we please see the fancy steam tank? The Emperor's Wrath. It has an emergency vent. Target self. Just shoots steam at people. It has the Kaboom ability. Disabled if unit is alive. Okay, so I guess it just explodes when it dies? That doesn't seem all that great. Relative to another steam tank, more leadership, more melee attack, more melee defense, a lot more missile damage. Okay, so it doesn't... Oh no, sorry, that's this steam tank has more... Because the Emperor's Wrath doesn't come in at full, at max level. I don't know, it doesn't seem that much better than a normal steam tank, to be perfectly honest with you, unless I'm underestimating these abilities. Yeah, okay. I mean, it can explode at people. When you phrase it that way, it doesn't sound like a great ability, right? The defenders of the Great Plan are negotiating peace with all of the elves, which I don't think matters at all, probably. I wonder, we should probably check. I wonder if the war in the southern part of the jungle has started to go better for the Lore Masters. Because we've definitely drawn off quite a lot of Skaven armies. The Skaven are a lot weaker on the whole than they were. Yep, you're just going to flee. And we should probably just go over there and burn Titan Peak, right? I don't actually want it. Although I guess it would get me toward my acclaim goal a little faster. And that's not really our bottleneck anymore, though, now. We've decided that we're going to try to complete some quests before we do the final battle. We're going to end up way past 100 acclaim. If we ended up at war with the zombie pirates, as long as we struck quickly and conclusively, I think we'd be fine. Alright, so there is a rebellion. Skaven rebellion has spawned. We have purged, or we are ready to purge. You know what? We're always kind of purging, though. We are prepared for further purging. And it's going to take this rebellion army a little while to build up to the point where it is actually able to attack Spectazuma with its large garrison and everything.
Noble son of Britonia.
Alright, let's get ourselves a...
Onwards, man.
Let's get ourselves a new city. Yeah, we can just take the auto-resolve on that one. Mostly, I'm curious what's going to happen in the quest. Here we go. After your successful assault upon Slanhuapak, Roderick disappears. He returns a few hours later, telling you that he had gone to seek closure for the loss of his men by gathering what he could of their remains and performing burial rites. He thanks you for making this possible, drops to his knees, and presents you with an ornately decorated sword recovered from his most trusted bodyguard after he fell during the ambush. So we could take a cool sword, or +5 speed for all of the melee infantry in his army, and also he gets charge defense. So that just means that when a unit charges him, they will not get their charge bonus added to their stats. He has a pretty good sword already, and we don't have that many people who need good swords. I think I'm going to take this. I don't think either one of those things is, like, amazing. Okay, and also, he has gained the trait Targeted by Duke to Duel. Alright, what's his next quest step? He needs us to move to the Poxmarsh. Well, we could just send him to the Poxmarsh alone, right, while we're on the way over to the Awakening. And is the Awakening thing the final step? Okay, yeah. A choice between powerful rewards, and it might cap him out. You know, I've just been assuming, like, I've been thinking of these final battle effects as things that are guaranteed to happen. Like, it's weird that it would be guaranteed to happen if you just have them, but I'm sure it only happens if they're in the battle, which is to say that if we actually want welcome reinforcements, we better go get Von Hall, or have him sail south. I don't know, it's not something we have to worry about right now. We're still a ways off of being ready to do that. Alright, let's go back into normal movement mode. Let's try to get close enough to Titan Peak to see it. It does not have an expanded garrison. Looks like we would not be able to attack it right now. I don't know where that army went. I guess they must have run further north.
Weak and feeble.
Prone Hellebron is looking pretty soft.
What orders?
I mean, it would probably be really good for us if we could just get up here, do some damage, and then free them from that siege.
Following Sigmar's
The goddess forbids.
How many enemy units do I want to take on at once is the real question here.
warrior of Sigmar.
Do we need to back off? Because I couldn't...
What is this foolishness?
Servant
Maybe we want to fall back a little bit. Although, I guess right here, maybe like take 2 steps back, we are not in a position where they could involve the city garrison. So it's unlikely that these 2 armies together would be able to actually threaten us. I think we'll just stay right there. Be prepared to make some aggressive moves in the near future. And at the Monument of the Moon, I don't think we actually need walls, but we might want to upgrade the port. Oh yeah, also, you know what we should actually do is not upgrade the port at the Monument of the Moon and instead use that money to repair our damaged buildings. And then try to get some actual walls up over here. Alright, let's let one more cycle of enemy turns run and then we'll call it there for the day. I am thinking that I'm a little torn. I'm a little torn on whether we want to go for a Wolfheart's thing. We'll try to take the Awakening. See if we can max out Von Hall's quest chain at least. I'm curious what they mean, you know. They say a dilemma will offer you some powerful rewards. I want to see the rewards, even if it doesn't look like they'll be that powerful. Okay, it looks like we will not be saving the exiles of Nahek, which definitely limits the safety of our northern settlements. Also, Dark Elves doing the thing Dark Elves love to do, where they just scream at you nonstop. Yeah, that's bad news. It's bad news that that all of a sudden the only person the Dark Elves have to focus on in the north is me. Vampire Coast is looking very weak at the moment. I bet we could just crush them and take the Awakening.
I can relate.
I still don't want a military alliance with you. It's weird that those guys are at war with Clan Pestilence, considering that they're on the other side of the world. I guess if you're going to be at war with Clan Pestilence, they're in the safest place you could be. Yeah, we don't like the Rat. Obviously, we never have to fight them or worry about them killing us. We just don't like them. We publicly don't like them. Alright, how's this rebellion going? Further south. They're getting pretty big, and we're not going to be able to hit them this turn. Probably we will not... We're not in any danger of losing Spectazuma, I don't think. I don't think. Like 30% sure. So we can sweep over here, grab this whole province. That will definitely max out our acclaim. We can move a character to the Poxmarsh by just taking our army north from the Awakening after we claim it. The Awakening does have a real garrison, a full 20 units, but a big pirate siege might be a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, that might be the plan. We may or may not be able to actually handle that siege. I don't know. We'll find out. But this is probably a good place to stop for today. We've accomplished a lot here, and we stand ready to accomplish an awful lot next time, tomorrow. So come back for that, and we'll see you then.